Hi, creative friends. This is Saraya, and thank you so much for being here. So, excuse me, I allow this to completely dry, and I can't tell you how happy I am just looking at it. This is a first layer, so obviously I'm gonna add more stuff, cover it up with collage, with tea bags, with paint, with inks, with all sorts of yummy goodness. But just as it is, I am absolutely head over heels in love with this. And the whole thing that I hope I am able to convey with all of my videos, and especially the ones on color, is that it is so personal. Your visual language is your visual language. It does not have to make sense to anybody else. And most likely it's not going to. Your art is not going to be for everybody. And nobody's art is for everybody. Even the masters, say Van Gogh or, Leonardo da Vinci or Rembrandt, their art is not for everybody. There are tons of people who don't like their art, and that's okay. Your art is not meant to be for everybody. It's not going to be for everybody. It has to resonate first and foremost with you. And then do your stuff and send it out into the world. If it resonates with people, great. If it doesn't resonate with people, that's okay too, um, and a lot of people, especially in art journaling, the stuff is private. Like, I open up my stuff. I post it on Instagram. I have a YouTube channel. So I am choosing to open up my art journals and open up my art. But a lot of people choose not to, and that's okay as well. So yeah, you guys, I am just so in love with this. Now I'm going to come in and add more stuff to it. But anyways, I am going to work on this delicious portrait, which is, very red infused. Now, it's not as vibrant and, it doesn't have the same structure as this one, but I'm glad I took that mini break and came and did this just for me, just to fill up my soul, just to make me happy. Because now I can take some of these lessons that I have learned in this piece and I can bring it into this piece. One of the things I noticed just off the bat is I really did love this piece when I did it, and I still do. But one of the things I'm noticing is this is so much more vibrant than this is. So I'm like, hey, I'm going to take some of these, little pieces and bobs and whatever, and I'm going to kind of, put it in here. So yeah, you guys, it's just really good sometimes to just take a break with whatever you're doing. Go do something that just makes you happy. And it doesn't even have to be art, you guys. It can be something completely unrelated. And I have mentioned this before, but Elizabeth Gilbert, when she was going through a very, like a blocked period, and of course she's a writer, she wrote Eat, Pray, Love, and a ton of other books too, but that's her most well-known to date. She was going through a very rough creative block, and so what she did is she took up gardening, which has absolutely nothing to do with writing. But over the course of a year or 2 years or whatever, she just completely immersed herself in all things gardening. She built a garden from scratch. She learned everything she could. And then at the end of that period, she ended up writing a book called The Signature of Things. And it was about a woman who was a botanist. So she used all of those lessons that she learned in her gardening in her time away from her writing, and she used that as I'm really sorry, you guys, I do have bad allergies. And she used all of that information and all of that knowledge to write her book, The Signature of Things. And even though that's not why she did the gardening, it led her to writing that book. So yeah, I'm a huge proponent of taking breaks, whether they're long breaks, or whether they're just, a little mini break like I just did, making that little background there. So now what I'm gonna do is, I think, I'm so sorry, you guys. I think I'm gonna bring in maybe, I don't know, some of these yellows, some of these like rich, dark, charcoaly colors. in the background and even on the figure actually. Now I'm excited when I do take off this painter's tape how it's going to look. And I'm glad I did that so I don't cover up stuff that I want. So I think what I'm gonna do is I am gonna make a horizon line here. So I think I'm gonna go in the bottom here. Now this is looking very juicy, very messy. Okay. And I don't want to cover up this red, but I do want, like in the background, but I want to kind of neutralize it just a little bit. I don't want to cover it up, but I don't want it to be overpowering. So one of the things I did learn, you guys, about backgrounds, especially in portraits, is that you want it to be interesting, but it plays a supporting role because you want the portrait to be the focal point. Now, of course, you know, you can, once you know the rule, you can break it, but as a general rule of thumb, you want the background to be more subdued. It should not take all the attention away from the portrait. I'm really loving this kind of whatever's going on here. I don't even know what it is, but I'm really liking it. So I'm not going to work on the face too much, you guys, because things are a big puddly mess and I want to let it dry. I think I am going to work on the eyes though a little bit. Let me see here. I'm putting some brown on the eyes and the hair actually. Let me just kind of... So I would really recommend using painter's tape, you guys. It's just really helpful when you want to retain stuff. You don't want to cover it up like me. I end up covering it up anyway, so painter's tape is just really helpful. Now, I'm really liking like this bottom part, but I don't know what to do with the top part for the background. I'm kind of thinking I want to add some yellow like I did with this, but I don't know. I don't know if that's gonna be like feel out of place. Let me just kind of get a reading here with the blue. I think I like the blue. I think the blue is probably a better option here. And I'm using my chalk paint, you guys. I use my chalk paint a lot, and I really do love it for what it does to colors. Like, see, I wanted to kind of make the background more opaque because I'm using an ink. And see that how that does it so beautifully with the chalk paint there. Now, I do have to bring some of this blue into parts of the portrait because I don't want it to be like so isolated. I'm gonna bring some of it in here just to kind of move my eye around. Okay, you guys, I think I'm just gonna let this dry here. I'm going to bring this up closer, but very carefully so that it does not drip and spill. I think I have to blot this out here. Okay, you guys, if you've watched all the way to the end, thank you so much, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!